Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 14, 2025, featuring Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 14, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from January 31st to February 6, 2025. PT features Rose and Bruno Mars. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars collaborate on Die with a Smile. Madhu Banti Bakshi and Divya present AJ Ki Rat. Tunak Sun is performed by Buji Ki Bane. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from the Friday, January 31st to the Thursday, February 6, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, DTMF by Bad Bunny APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, and Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 12, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Poppy Playtime, Chapter 1 Minecraft. Steam's most popular games. Discover the globally top-selling and top-played titles on Steam. Based on the top 100 revenue products list, for the period from Tuesday, February 4, 2025, to Tuesday, February 11, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, PUBG Battlegrounds, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA collaborates with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and various international and U.S. entities to issue guidance on edge devices. One more drop in the AI ocean. Zifra's Zonos V0.1 Hybrid. Zonos V0.1 stands out as a top open-weight text-to-speech model, trained on over 200,000 hours of diverse multilingual speech. It matches or exceeds the expressiveness and quality of leading TTS providers. With a speaker embedding or audio prefix, the model generates highly natural speech from text prompts. It can also accurately clone speech from a reference clip that is just a few seconds long. The conditioning setup allows for precise control over speaking rate, pitch variation, audio quality, and emotions like happiness, fear, sadness, and anger. The model outputs speech at its native sampling rate of 44 kHz. China assembles a planetary defense team due to rising worries about the 2024 YR-4 asteroid. Beijing greenlights the building of its inaugural deepwater space station in the South China Sea. With changing Washington dynamics, China bolsters space collaborations with African nations. Wall Street Journal reports that China attempts to mediate in Ukraine. Hegseth dismisses Ukraine's NATO membership, emphasizing Europe's duty for its security, stating Ukraine cannot anticipate reverting to previous borders or joining NATO. Trump claims to have conversed with Putin and reached an agreement to negotiate a Ukraine ceasefire, with the Kremlin announcing Putin's invitation to Trump for discussions in Moscow. Leaders assert that no enduring peace in Ukraine is possible without Europe's involvement in negotiations following the Trump-Putin call. Sea turtles use magnetic map and compass to navigate the ocean, as sea turtles dance when their superpower leads them to food. In the U.S., $10 million was spent on transgender animal testing, Watchdog Group says, as Congresswoman Mace opens hearing on oversight of taxpayer-funded animal cruelty. U.S. wildfire suppressants rife with toxic heavy metals, study finds. Jeffrey Epstein task force formed as FBI announces discovery of 2,400 new JFK assassination files. United States plans to release Russian cyber money launderer in return for Mark Fogel. In the United Kingdom, MI5 allegedly misled courts to safeguard a violent neo-Nazi spy, and the MI5 chief reportedly contacted the BBC boss to suppress the story about the violent neo-Nazi spy. Tesla has initiated legal actions against customers and journalists in China, achieving success in most cases, according to a review. It is reportedly using its close ties with the Chinese Communist Party to penalize drivers who report issues with their brakes suddenly failing. Bloomberg indicates that Temu and Shein are experiencing a decline in U.S. sales following Trump's focus on China trade. Reuters suggests that Shein is planning to reduce its valuation to $50 billion in a London IPO, as its IPO plans are affected by Trump's crackdown on low-cost parcels. Apple and Google have reinstated the TikTok app after receiving assurances from Trump. Manhattan U.S. attorney and leading DOJ officials step down following directive to dismiss Eric Adams' case. Kamala Harris emerges as the Democratic frontrunner for California governor in 2026, according to a poll. Researchers report a 50% rise in hate speech on X since Elon Musk took over. Wall Street Journal indicates that, according to U.S. intelligence, Israel perceives an opportunity for strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. State media in Iran reports that 2 British nationals are detained on security charges. Iran's Khamenei emphasizes the necessity to enhance Iran's military capabilities following threats from Trump. German Navy chief reveals warship sabotage amid rising Russian threat to NATO. Study indicates Russian defense spending surpasses total European expenditure. Ukraine captures high-ranking intelligence officer, alleging collaboration with Russia. A concealed Picasso artwork from the initial Blue period has been uncovered using advanced technology. In May 2024, a massive solar storm generated 2 new radiation belts encircling Earth. Research conducted in India indicates that children employ distinct math abilities in their professional endeavors compared to their academic pursuits. Trump declares that Palestinians will not be allowed to return to Gaza under his proposal. The Palestinian Authority terminates martyr payments, potentially signaling an approach towards Trump, as the Palestinian president abolishes the prisoner payment system condemned by the U.S. The Trump administration approves the reform of Palestinian prisoner payments, which have been labeled pay for slay. In the UK, the government announced that construction on up to 12 new towns in England will commence by the next election. Starmer is set to reveal a plan for these new towns, which draws inspiration from King Charles. A report indicates that Italy, Greece, and Spain are among the top 10 countries most impacted by extreme weather. It is reportedly that the German far-right is seeking to ally with Orbán to internally dismantle the EU. ARM plans to release its own chip this year, with Meta as a client. A study claims that China's supercomputer chips have become 10 times more powerful than Nvidia's. Reuters indicates that buyout firms are competing for the cybersecurity company Trend Micro, according to sources. Acetaminophen used during pregnancy may increase children's risk of autism, ADHD, and intellectual disability. Research supports the health benefits of cycling, especially in lowering sickness absences. A study associates birth control rings and patches with an elevated risk of clots and strokes. German regulator accuses Apple of misusing power regarding its app tracking tool. OpenAI removes its diversity commitment webpage from its website. The upcoming Harry Potter HBO series is considering John Lithgow for the role of Dumbledore. OpenAI delays its O3 AI model to focus on a unified next-generation release, with Sam Altman outlining the strategy for OpenAI's GPT-5. ChatGPT's energy use is disclosed, just 0.3 watts per response, much less than previously speculated. Elon Musk announces he will retract his bid to buy OpenAI if the board halts the shift to a for-profit business. Anthropic anticipates its revenue will grow to $34.5 billion by the year 2027. Elon Musk announces that Grok 3 is in the final development phase and surpasses the performance of all other chatbots. Oracle's Larry Ellison urges governments to consolidate data to enhance AI capabilities. Trump suggests Russia's reinstatement in the G7. According to reports, Trump is interested in discussions with Russia and China regarding reductions in military expenditure. Reports indicate that the U.S. is transferring nonviolent, low-risk migrants to Guantanamo, contrary to its commitment to detain the worst individuals there. The official Doge website has been updated, with a promise of savings updates by Valentine's Day. 14 states have filed a lawsuit against Doge, criticizing Elon Musk's unprecedented power as unconstitutional. It has been noted that anyone can push updates to the Doge.gov website, as cutbacks lead to hackers interacting with Musk's Doge site. In the U.S., HHS, the Department of Health and Human Services, has allocated over $22 billion in grants for migrants, which includes funds for cars, home loans, and startups. The U.S. State Department has removed Tesla from a $400 million armored electric vehicle plan due to concerns about conflicts. Trump declares tariffs on the EU in response to VAT, while signing a plan for reciprocal tariffs on U.S. trading partners, leading to economic uncertainty. Trump indicates that Modi will initiate trade discussions following the U.S.'s tariff announcement. Taiwan commits to enhancing communication and investment in the U.S. after Trump's tariff threats. Porsche is reducing approximately 2,000 positions in Germany as the challenges with its EV intensify. U.S. Coast Guard shares a recording that seems to capture the sound of the Titanic submersible's implosion. In 2024, all 32 swimmers who underwent the most drug tests worldwide were Chinese, according to the data. Trump Jr. supports Enhanced Games, a new event that could challenge the Olympics by permitting certain steroids in sports. European Parliament advises legislators to exclusively use encrypted messages following cyber attacks by China. In the United States, the Salt typhoon breach affects telecom provider Cisco devices. Microsoft reveals that a sandworm subgroup has executed global cyber attacks across more than 15 countries. Baidu, a Chinese company, plans to release its newest Ernie AI model as open source due to intensifying competition. Meanwhile, AI licensing agreements with Google and OpenAI contribute to 10% of Reddit's income. The UK has removed safety from its AI organization, now named the AI Security Institute, and has signed a memorandum of understanding with Anthropic. Additionally, publishers such as Condé Nast and McClatchy have accused the AI company Cohere of copyright infringements. Chain analysis indicates that pig butchering scams have surged by nearly 40% in 2024 compared to the previous year, as the fraud sector adopts AI and enhances its sophistication. Core DDoS radar shows a 56% rise in DDoS attacks over the same period. According to Google's threat intelligence team, cybercrime poses a significant threat to national security, with U.S. adversaries increasingly seeking assistance from cybercriminals and their malware. Malaysia collaborates with Google to introduce AI to 445,000 civil servants. In the U.S., following the Copilot trial, government employees found Microsoft's AI less beneficial than anticipated. YouTube integrates Google Veo AI video generation tools into Shorts.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 12, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs from January 31st to February 6, 2025. APT features Rose and Bruno Mars. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars collaborate on Die with a Smile. Madhubanti Bagshi and Divya present AJ Ki Rat. Tunak Tunak Sun is performed by Buji Ki Bane. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from the Friday, January 31st to the Thursday, February 6, 2025. Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. DTMF by Bad Bunny, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, and Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 12, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Poppy Playtime. Chapter 1, Minecraft. Steam's most popular games. Discover the globally top-selling and top-played titles on Steam. Based on the top 100 revenue products list, for the period from Tuesday, February 4, 2025, to Tuesday, February 11, 2025. Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Counter-Strike 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Monster Hunter Wilds, PUBG, Battlegrounds, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA collaborates with ASD's ACSC, CCCS, NCSC UK, and various international and U.S. entities to issue guidance on edge devices. One more drop in the AI ocean. Ziffer's Zonos V0.1 Hybrid. Zonos V0.1 stands out as a top open-weight text-to-speech model, trained on over 200,000 hours of diverse multilingual speech. It matches or exceeds the expressiveness and quality of leading TTS providers. With a speaker embedding or audio prefix, the model generates highly natural speech from text prompts. It can also accurately clone speech from a reference clip that is just a few seconds long. The conditioning setup allows for precise control over speaking rate, pitch variation, audio quality, and emotions like happiness, fear, sadness, and anger. The model outputs speech at its native sampling rate of 44 kHz. The first supernovas might have filled the early universe with water, enabling life as soon as 100 million years post-Big Bang. The Euclid Dark Universe Telescope has uncovered a remarkable Einstein ring in distorted spacetime. A study has announced the discovery of the largest structure in the universe, the Quipu, which is 13,000 times the length of the Milky Way. UK and US do not sign a declaration on ensuring AI is safe for all at the Paris summit. Vance warns Europeans that excessive regulation might stifle AI development. France unveils a $112 billion AI investment to compete with the US's Stargate project, while the EU commits $200 billion in AI spending to try to match the progress of the US and China. Wall Street Journal reports that an Elon Musk-led group offers $97.4 billion for control of OpenAI, but Sam Altman declines the offer, stating that the OpenAI board will reject Elon Musk's $97 billion proposal. Conservative political leadership linked to increased premature mortality rates. A study indicates Donald Trump exhibits higher levels of dark tetrad traits compared to Joe Biden. The Pope warns that Trump's mass deportation of migrants will end badly as it is built on the basis of force, and not on the truth about the equal dignity of every human being. German customers of Seagate claim their new hard drives were previously used, with reports suggesting these HDDs had been in operation for tens of thousands of hours. Meta torrented over 81 terabytes of data through Anna's archive, despite few seeders. Nokia secures its first-ever patent injunction across Germany against the Amazon Prime video streaming service, following 3 victories over Amazon devices. Meta's Brain 2 QWERTY AI model converts brain signals into text as a non-invasive alternative to Musk's Neuralink. The FDA and EU approve Nuance Audio, smart glasses integrated with hearing aids, for commercial sale. Huawei increases smartwatch sales by registering them as medical devices. AI usage costs decrease tenfold annually, according to OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. Additionally, Altman suggests that combining LLM scaling and reasoning could lead to new scientific knowledge. Anthropic's Economic Index indicates that AI is more commonly used for augmentation than automation. Allstate reports that nearly all its communications regarding insurance claims are now handled by AI, which is reportedly more empathetic than its human insurance representatives. Ancient Europeans ate the brains of their dead enemies 18,000 years ago, researchers discover. Spanish running of the Bulls Festival reveals crowd movements can be predictable, above a certain density. Study finds, medieval Dutch site may have hosted devil's money, cult rituals. Passmark records its first annual decline in average CPU performance over its 2-decade history of benchmarking. Intel criticizes AMD and NVIDIA in its recent product security report, highlighting that AMD has 78 vulnerabilities without any planned fixes, while NVIDIA is noted for having only high-severity security issues. The rate of IT unemployment increases to 5.7% as artificial intelligence impacts employment in the technology sector. Valve prohibits compulsory in-game advertisements across all Steam games. A Donkey Kong enthusiast, after 44 years, finds out that the iconic kill screen isn't truly the conclusion. A recently disclosed Nintendo Switch 2 patent affirms mouse compatibility and provides additional specifications. A telecoms cable in Russia's Baltic Sea has been damaged due to external impact, according to TASS. Zelensky has suggested trading land with Putin, including the return of Kursk. The Kremlin recently stated that a significant part of Ukraine wants to be Russia. 2 days prior, Trump remarked that Ukraine may be Russian someday, before Zelensky's meeting with Vance. Russia has extended an offer to India for its most advanced Su-57 stealth fighter jet, with UAC officially confirming the co-production offer to India. Greenland's ice sheet might completely melt once it hits a certain tipping point, according to a study. Scientists have just mapped ice-free areas in Antarctica for the first time. It has been discovered that Earth's inner core is not as solid as once believed. Poachers' social media activity exposes the significant scale of illegal wildlife hunting in Lebanon. The Argentina River becomes a stream of blood, following a suspected toxic leak. Alpha male baboons experience accelerated aging, increased mortality, and heightened stress due to love-related issues. Trump discontinues legal action against Twitter ban following January 6 incident. Wall Street Journal notes, UK allows Apple to facilitate data access for China. 4 days prior, Apple compelled by UK to create backdoor for user data. Black History and Pride Month removed from Google Calendar. A recent study suggests that fiber might safeguard your gut against an excessive increase in harmful bacteria. Research indicates that antibiotics, vaccinations, and anti-inflammatory drugs are associated with a decreased likelihood of developing dementia. The study attributes the rising incidence of lung cancer in non-smokers to air pollution in China. Thomson Reuters secures a preliminary victory in a court case concerning AI, copyright, and fair use. Individuals are gradually developing more confidence in AI and perceiving it as increasingly similar to humans. According to Wall Street Journal, DeepSeek provides information on bioweapons and self-harm. Russia introduces a prototype of a plasma rocket engine. General Atomics achieves successful testing of nuclear thermal propulsion reactor fuel at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. Anduril assumes control of Microsoft's $22 billion U.S. Army headset program. Neuro-ophthalmologists are worried about eye issues in patients taking GLP-1 anti-diabetic drugs. A study indicates that multiple psychiatric disorders have a common origin. Researchers report that older individuals in England are experiencing greater happiness and satisfaction post-COVID. MIT's robot bees achieve unprecedented pollination milestones, including a 1,000-second hover and various acrobatic maneuvers. Volleybach creates a prototype wooden jacket by transforming trees into garments with intricate grids of timber. Stellantis unveils pop-up advertisements in its vehicles, leading to widespread discontent among car owners. Trump claims he has directed the Treasury to cease the production of unnecessary pennies. Trump enacts 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, with reciprocal duties to be implemented shortly. Apple plans to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America on its Maps app. The Associated Press reports it was barred from the Oval Office for persisting in using Gulf of Mexico. In the United States, YouTube has made a surprising announcement, with its CEO stating that television has surpassed mobile as the primary device for watching content. Meanwhile, Netflix is exploring video podcasts as it becomes more receptive to creator content. Additionally, Elon Musk has expressed his disinterest in purchasing TikTok's U.S. business. Just 2 days ago, it was reported that TikTok's CEO had met with the White House regarding a potential deal. Furthermore, TikTok has now made its Android app available for download outside of Google Play. Trump relaxes the enforcement of the U.S. law that prohibits the bribery of foreign officials and stops the prosecution of companies accused of such bribery overseas. The PGA Tour acknowledges Trump's role in advancing the LIV golf deal during his significant sports week. Axios indicates that Disney is revising its DEI initiatives. Thunderbolts emerge as Marvel's latest heroes in a Super Bowl trailer. The Oscars are contemplating a mandate for films to reveal AI usage following controversies with The Brutalist and Emilia Perez. Naja 2 breaks box office records, becoming the first non-Hollywood film to surpass $1 billion. BYD introduces free self-driving capabilities to 21 of its electric vehicle models, intensifying competition in China's automotive industry. Shein requests certain Chinese suppliers to expand their operations to Vietnam. Apple collaborates with Alibaba to create AI features for iPhone users in China. Lee Enterprises, a major media company in the U.S., acknowledges a cyber attack, leading to continued disruptions at its news outlets. The U.S., UK, and Australia are focusing on Russia-based servers due to Lockbit ransomware attacks, with the U.S. imposing sanctions on Lockbit's resilient hosting provider. International law enforcement has apprehended key individuals involved in Phobos and 8-base ransomware as part of a global cybercrime operation. Trump indicates he might stop aid to Jordan and Egypt unless they accept Palestinians. Jordan agrees to care for ill children from Gaza amid Trump's proposed takeover strategy. Palestinian forces are visibly assisting Israel in its conflict in the West Bank. Lyft plans to introduce Mobileye robot access in Dallas starting in 2026. China's technology stocks are experiencing a bull market following a significant breakthrough by DeepSeek. T-Mobile will implement a $15 monthly fee for the Starlink satellite texting feature. In the United States, federal authorities have filed charges against 9 individuals suspected of being involved in a robbery ring that successfully stole 2 artworks by Jackson Pollock and Andy Warhol, each valued at millions of dollars. The inaugural official African government meme coin, $CAR, has achieved a trading volume of $830 million, marking it as one of the top meme coins to purchase during the current African crypto bull run. Take-Two accidentally disclosed that PS5 sales have surpassed those of the Xbox Series X/S by more than double. Kris Jenner puts famous family house from Keeping Up with the Kardashians on the market for $13.5 million. Ye's website is temporarily unavailable following the sale of swastika shirts, as the e-commerce platform states the site breached its terms. In 2024, female protagonists have achieved equal representation with male protagonists in the highest-grossing films. BuzzFeed is launching a new social platform to compete with Instagram, TikTok, and X, aiming to spread joy. Meta and Child Help have introduced a curriculum to assist students in avoiding online exploitation. Tumblr will become part of the Fediverse once its WordPress migration is finished. Google AI chief dismisses DeepSeek's cost allegations as overblown. According to Reuters, OpenAI is preparing to complete its initial custom chip design this year. The Wall Street Journal notes that China's approach in the trade war involves intimidating U.S. tech firms. Bloomberg highlights that Taiwan's exports to Mexico have surged by nearly 500% prior to the imposition of U.S. tariffs. It is reported that chipmaker SMIC experienced a 45% decline in profits in 2024 due to ongoing U.S.-China trade tensions. Zelensky says Europe's ability to ensure Ukraine's security is contingent upon America's involvement. North Korea labels Trump's proposal to take over Gaza as absurd. A Danish petition advocating for the purchase of California garners 200,000 signatures. UNAIDS chief warns that HIV infections could increase by more than 6-fold if U.S. support were withdrawn. Trump issues an executive order urging agencies to collaborate with a group led by Elon Musk. Trump administration informs Republican lawmakers that $175 billion is required to fortify the borders. In South Korea, AI fortune tellers and digital clergy are causing discussions about the future of religion. According to the BBC, AI chatbots can distort and mislead when queried about current events, as they struggle to provide accurate news summaries. A Microsoft study reveals that AI can lead to human cognition becoming atrophied and unprepared. Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 8, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs January 24th to January 30th, 2025.
APT, Rosé et Bruno Mars.
Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. AJ Key Rat, Madhu Banti Bagshi, Divya. DTMF, Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 24th to Thursday, January 30th, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die with a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars, and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 4th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Overcooked, 2 Minecraft, Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top-selling and top-played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2, PUBG Battlegrounds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued a fact sheet explaining the embedded backdoor function in the Context CMS 8000 firmware. One more drop in the AI ocean. MAPSU S1-7B, Anil N. Kott. U represents a pioneering collection of open-source foundation models aimed at music creation, particularly at converting lyrics into entire songs, lyrics to song. It has the ability to produce a full song, extending over several minutes, featuring both an engaging vocal section and an instrumental section. You is adept at representing a wide array of genres, languages, and vocal styles. For an impressive vocal display, be sure to check out the demo page. Colombia's president claims that cocaine is no worse than whiskey and would be sold like wine if legalized globally. Despite ongoing discoveries of clandestine graves in Mexico, the government has ceased releasing statistics. 2 years ago, a nonprofit reported that Mexico was uncovering 1.8 clandestine graves each day. Tunisia has resumed its crackdown on political dissent, jailing opposition politicians and journalists. The opposition leader Ghannouchi received a new 22-year prison sentence. 4 months ago, Tunisia reportedly imprisoned presidential candidate Ayachi Zamel for 12 years. 8 months ago, leading opposition figure Musi was sentenced to jail. Apple is developing a tabletop robot with realistic movements, expected to launch by 2027. Civilization 7 has had a difficult beginning, earning mixed reviews on Steam from its premium supporters. This unfinished mess is nothing like the Civ 6 release. LeBron James has set a new record as the oldest player to score 40 points in NBA history, achieving 42 points in the Lakers' win. Ireland and Spain should take Palestinians, Israeli minister says. In Israel, in meeting with Foreign Minister Sayar, top Italian diplomat says Rome will no longer work with UNRWA. Also, Tajani tells Sayar 2 states is solution for future. Netanyahu told U.S. officials war could end if Hamas leaders go into exile, claimed sources. Trump is considering allowing states to manage schools and is contemplating significant reductions to the U.S. Education Department. Elon Musk has remarked that the Department of Education is no longer relevant. Elon Musk's Doge is reportedly processing sensitive federal data into AI to identify areas for cuts, and Elon Musk's Doge is developing a personalized chatbot named GSAI. Chris Anderson is offering TED to anyone with the most innovative idea for its future. Linus Bio introduces ClearStrand ASD, a revolutionary autism biomarker that allows healthcare providers to exclude autism with just one strand of hair. Meanwhile, the CDC briefly shares information on bird flu transmission between cats and humans before removing it. Additionally, the NCAA in the U.S. implements a new policy restricting transgender student athletes to competing in women's sports only if they were assigned female at birth. Trump alleges that media outlets received payments to produce favorable stories about Democrats, intensifying a conspiracy theory regarding Politico's compensation. Hungary's leader charges USAID with financing left-wing media across Europe. Remarks have noted that USAID allocated $44,000 to Politico, contrary to the White House's assertion of over $8 million. The payment was for subscriptions, and the White House plans to cancel $8 million in Politico subscriptions following the spread of a misleading right-wing conspiracy theory. Bolivia and Argentina investigate an illegal hunting network responsible for the deaths of jaguars. Humpback whale songs exhibit patterns similar to those found in human language. Indonesia mandates the cessation of tourism projects associated with Trump due to environmental concerns. Putin's North Korean troops have reportedly been removed from the front line, according to Seoul's intelligence agency, while Zelensky claims they have returned. An Azerbaijan Airlines plane that crashed en route to Russia was reportedly found with numerous holes. As per a report, Azerbaijan is intensifying a rare conflict with Russia regarding the passenger plane's downing. The Baltic countries have terminated their electricity connections to Russia via the Soviet-era grid and are strengthening their EU alliance. Trump places sanctions on the ICC, claiming it focuses on the US and Israel. Meanwhile, numerous countries oppose these sanctions by the Trump administration. Israel decides to cease interaction with the UN Human Rights Council, citing alleged bias. Additionally, a leaked document indicates that a large-scale immigration enforcement action is imminent in Los Angeles. UK mandates Apple to permit surveillance on users' encrypted accounts. The DeepSeek iOS application transmits data unencrypted to servers controlled by ByteDance, and DeepSeek limits access to AI model due to increased demand overwhelming capacity. Japan's financial services agency directs Apple and Google to eliminate Bybit, KuCoin, and 3 cryptocurrency exchange applications from their platforms. NASA will conduct its inaugural Twitch stream from the International Space Station. Blue Origin, owned by Bezos, replicates lunar gravity for NASA experiments during space travel. Investors are concerned about the financial health of Eutelsat and SES as the threat from Starlink approaches. Google is experimenting with an AI mode in its search engine to provide answers to all your open-ended questions. Microsoft has launched an AI-driven scareware blocker for its Edge browser. Amazon has committed $26 billion per quarter to enhance its Gen AI capabilities and undergo a retail transformation. The Prince Netflix documentary, which has stirred controversy, will not be released. The estate now has the freedom to develop a new project. Carla Sofia Gaskin expresses her hope that her silence will contribute to Emilia Perez being appreciated for what it is in a new apology following a director's description of her as self-destructive. Christie's has withdrawn an El Greco masterpiece due to an ownership dispute with Romania. J.D. Vance is selected to manage the possible TikTok sale with an April 5th deadline approaching. Trump announces that reciprocal tariffs will be declared for every nation next week, and he halts the de minimis repeal as packages accumulate at U.S. Customs. Trudeau informs an audience that Trump's threat to annex Canada is real and driven by the desire to access essential minerals. Emissions from powering AI data centers are expected to lead to significant health issues, potentially resulting in 600,000 asthma cases and $20 billion in health expenses by 2030. According to DeepSeek research, Huawei's Ascend 910C achieves 60% of the inference performance of NVIDIA's H100. DeepMind asserts that its AI surpasses the abilities of gold medalists in the International Mathematical Olympiad. India reduces interest rates for the first time in almost 5 years to stimulate economic growth amid declining inflation. The Bank of England lowers rates, anticipating increased inflation and diminished growth. Trump announces that the U.S. and Japan will collaborate to reduce the trade deficit while meeting with Ishiba. Donald Trump indicates a desire to engage in discussions with Iran regarding the nuclear agreement. Trump asserts we will establish relations with North Korea. It is reported that the U.S. restrictions on semiconductors have impacted China more significantly than anticipated, with TSMC proceeding cautiously. New Jeans, a K-pop group, has rebranded as NJZ and revealed performance dates for March while dealing with a contract dispute. Christie's is organizing an auction featuring only AI-generated art. A court has ruled that liking a post containing a porn deepfake can result in liability, as seen in the Megan Thee Stallion lawsuit. Elon Musk's X is under criminal investigation in France due to concerns about algorithm manipulation. German non-profit organizations have succeeded in a lawsuit for access to public data against. Elon Musk's X has acquired a new adtech partner in an effort to attract additional advertisers. France and the UAE have signed a significant agreement for an AI data center, potentially valued at up to $50 billion. DeepSeek's AI model, described as efficient, is influencing the energy market, leading to discussions about demand. Meanwhile, Chevron is considering gas-powered plants for data centers. Additionally, AI chip company Cerebras has collaborated with France's Mistral, asserting a speed record. Bloomberg notes that Wall Street is experiencing a more concealed era of stock trading. Trump aims to close a contentious tax loophole that has significantly increased the wealth of Wall Street's elite for many years, and investment groups are against Trump's proposal to raise the carried interest tax, as Trump plans to terminate carried interest and broaden SALT in his tax legislation. Trump confirms the United States' withdrawal from the International Tax Agreement. Netflix is contemplating a bid for the Formula One television rights. Spotify and Warner Music have entered into a new multi-year agreement. Warner Music has acquired songs by Bruno Mars and Adele in a $450 million transaction. Honeywell, HON, divides into 3 due to financial worries. Nikola, a producer of hydrogen trucks, approaches bankruptcy documentation. Trump predicts Nippon will withdraw $15 billion offer for U.S. Steel, yet significantly engage in it. Gemini is considering an IPO as cryptocurrency companies advance their listing plans. The Melania memecoin has plummeted by 90% from its highest point as its novelty appeal diminishes. It is said that USDC has completely recovered from the FTX market crash. Fintech company Klarna is aiming for a US IPO in April. Trump plans to establish a religious office in the White House to address anti-Christian bias. The Trump administration is taking steps to halt the national rollout of electric vehicle chargers. Trump announces his intention to undo Biden's initiative aimed at eliminating plastic straws. UNESCO finishes restoring Mosul heritage sites harmed by ISIS. A 300-year-old Stradivarius violin fetches $11 million at a New York auction. The Metropolitan Museum of Art hosts its first major retrospective in the U.S. focused on Caspar David Friedrich. A Doge staffer resigns over racist posts. Elon Musk demands firing of disgusting and cruel Wall Street Journal reporter who uncovered Doge employees' racist tweets. Vance and Trump call for rehiring of Doge staffer who quit over racist posts. Musk obliges. In the United States, the Treasury is focusing on an oil network that is providing hundreds of millions of dollars to Iran's military. The Trump administration has dissolved a task force aimed at Russian oligarchs. Reuters notes that while Trump's minimal cancellation is concerning for Temu, it poses an even greater threat to Shine. Ad buyers criticize Google, Amazon, and others for ads appearing on a site with child abuse content. Hearst Magazines introduces Aura, a first-party AI ad targeting tool, to global markets. The Science Museum in the UK claims Lego is anti-LGBT and only supports two genders. Meta partners with UNESCO to develop a groundbreaking AI program for speech and translation. Microsoft reports that cybercriminals exploit unprotected ASP.NET keys to distribute malware. Spanish law enforcement apprehends a hacker suspected of targeting NATO and the U.S. Army. India's Reserve Bank of India unveils a unique bank.in domain to address digital banking fraud. FBI and Dutch police interrupt phishing group known as Manipulators. Hacker alleges OpenAI breach, selling 20 million login credentials. Meta takes action against leakers. Quantum teleportation is utilized to spread a calculation. Docker Bake is now widely available in Docker Desktop 4.38, enhancing the efficiency of Docker builds. In the UK, the Tornado 2 Tempest fighter jet component recycling project has begun successfully, with old fighter jets being melted down and 3D printed into new ones. Trump announces the termination of Biden's classified intelligence briefings as a retaliatory action, alongside the revocation of Joe Biden's security clearance. Trump intensifies his lawsuit against CBS 60 Minutes, now seeking $20 billion, claiming that the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris unjustly redirected viewers away from his Truth Social platform. The Pentagon removes WALPO and CNN from its offices, opting instead for the Daily Caller, the Free Press, and other media outlets.
Get your daily news fix with News Source Scrawler's latest edition, February 6, 2025, featuring crypto, politics, tech, and more. Number 1 hit and more. YouTube music charts. Global top songs January 24th to January 30th, 2025. Appétit. Rosé et Bruno Mars. Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Aaj Kiraat, Matrubanti Bakchi, Divya. DTMF Bad Bunny. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global, spanning from Friday, January 24th to Thursday, January 30th, 2025. DTMF by Bad Bunny. Die with a Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, APT. By Rose and Bruno Mars and Bail Inolvidable by Bad Bunny. Nintendo US Digital Top Sellers starting February 4th, 2025. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Hogwarts Legacy, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Overcooked. 2 Minecraft Stardew Valley. Steam's hottest games. Global top selling and top played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue list, for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025 to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Counter-Strike 2. PUBG Battlegrounds. Red Dead Redemption 2. Marvel Rivals. CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA has issued a fact sheet explaining the embedded backdoor function in the Context CMS 8000 firmware. One more drop in the AI ocean. MAPSU S1-7B. Anil N. Kott. U represents a pioneering collection of open-source foundation models aimed at music creation, particularly at converting lyrics into entire songs, lyrics to song. It has the ability to produce a full song, extending over several minutes, featuring both an engaging vocal section and an instrumental section. U is adept at representing a wide array of genres, languages, and vocal styles. For an impressive vocal display, be sure to check out the demo page. USPS will now accept all inbound packages from China and Hong Kong. Previously, the U.S. Postal Service had suspended these parcels. Additionally, China has placed Google, NVIDIA, Intel, Calvin Klein parent PVH, and Illumina on its unreliable entity list. Bloomberg also mentions that China is considering an investigation into Apple's App Store fees and practices. Meanwhile, a Panama court is being urged to cancel a Hong Kong firm's canal contract due to a Trump threat. The Panama Canal Authority, however, denies any changes to fee charges following a U.S. claim. Recently, U.S. government vessels have been allowed to sail the Panama Canal without fees, according to the U.S. OpenAI's Sora filmmaking tool encounters opposition in Hollywood. Meta reorganizes its generative AI, Messenger, and Facebook divisions. ByteDance introduces OmniHuman, an AI capable of producing lifelike videos from a solitary photo. Argentina is developing genetically modified polo ponies. Australian researchers have successfully created kangaroo embryos through IVF for the first time. The earliest known evidence of lead pollution has been discovered in ancient Greece. Ampere reveals that streamers will allocate $95 billion to content in 2025, outpacing commercial broadcasters. Reuters is set to embark on a significant expansion in the Middle East. The NMPA initiates a comprehensive takedown of Spotify's podcasts, alleging infringement, and vows to continue until the platform resolves its podcast issues. In the United States, a lawsuit alleges that the University of California has discriminated against white and Asian individuals during Trump's DI crackdown. According to sources, the NFL plans to eliminate end racism messaging from the end zone before the Super Bowl. Additionally, Google has abandoned its diversity hiring objectives, citing Trump's DI directives. In the U.S., SEC plans to reduce its crypto enforcement activities. Taproot Wizard secures $30 million to enhance smart contracts on Bitcoin. White House crypto czar David Sachs emphasizes stablecoin legislation as the top priority, while Senator Bill Hagerty introduces the Genius Act to establish a stablecoin framework. Former Google engineer is charged in the U.S. with allegedly stealing AI secrets for Chinese firms. The EU establishes guidelines to prevent the misuse of AI by employers, websites, and law enforcement. Google retracts its commitment not to employ AI for weapons or surveillance. Apple introduces the Apple Invites app to facilitate party invitations, aiming to generate recurring revenue. Opera Air, a browser specifically crafted for stress management and enhancing focus, has been launched. An internal memo from Meta's CTO indicates that 2025 is a critical year for the company's XR ambitions. Who indicates that the worldwide cancer burden is expanding, highlighting the increasing demand for services. Research suggests that COVID-19 is associated with a rise in biomarkers indicating abnormal brain proteins. Investigations connect marijuana use to enduring changes in the cortex and an increased risk of schizophrenia. Volvo to deploy Wabi self-driving Gen AI to get more autonomous freight trucks on the road in 2025. Adobe claims that 69% admitted signing a contract without knowing all the details, and announces Adobe AI Assistant for overview, summaries, and differences between versions. Google parent Alphabet plans to spend $75 billion this year, as big tech goes all in on AI. Carla Sofia Gaskin reportedly removed from the Amelia Perez Oscars campaign due to the re-emergence of concerning posts. President Biden has joined a Hollywood talent agency that also represents the Obamas. Bandai's live-action Gundam film is set to have a theatrical release. Thailand has reduced electricity supply to regions along the Myanmar border, where scam operations are prevalent, amid increasing pressure from China. China is implementing stricter regulations to oversee the distribution of microdramas. The Chinese box office achieved a record-breaking $1.3 billion during the Lunar New Year, with IMAX also reaching new milestones. Bloomberg states that over 20,000 federal workers have accepted Musk's buyout. Sources indicate the CIA is offering buyouts to its entire workforce to match Trump's priorities. NASA workers were instructed to drop everything, to remove mentions of indigenous people and women from its websites. It has been remarked as Musk demonstrating what real government censorship on social media entails. Zelensky urges Tucker Carlson to cease his admiration for Putin following Carlson's accusation of Zelensky as a dictator. Ukraine accepts Trump's proposal to exchange minerals for military aid. The EU and Moldova reach an agreement on an energy security plan to reduce Moldova's dependence on Russian energy. U.S. Navy tests its powerful laser weapon capable of destroying warships and drones, with an astonishing photo capturing the moment. European Union permits the use of powdered insect larvae in bread and various other foods. Javier Milei commands Argentina's exit from the World Health Organization. Treasury Department confirms Doge's payment data access is limited to read-only. DHS examines TSA's growing facial recognition program due to privacy issues. Trump administration working on an executive order to start the Department of Education's removal. Trump advises Gazans to evacuate, stating the U.S. will assume control and reconstruct the area. He does not exclude the possibility of deploying U.S. troops to aid in rebuilding Gaza and envisions long-term U.S. ownership. Saudi Arabia quickly responds, asserting no diplomatic relations with Israel without the establishment of a Palestinian state. A pro-Trump Arab American organization renames itself, following the president's remarks about Gaza's Riviera. Iran commends the U.S. for reducing foreign aid funding, anticipating a Trump message on nuclear negotiations. Greenland's parliament endorses a prohibition on foreign political donations as Trump pursues the island. Mexico's foreign minister declares that the country will not permit the U.S. to deport Mexicans to Guantanamo. A viral image of Mars' surface featuring a square structure has sparked conspiracy theories. Meanwhile, Musk is planning to send astronauts. Temperatures at the North Pole are 20 degrees Celsius above average, surpassing the ice melting point. Researchers suggest that an ancient asteroid impact created two Grand Canyons on the Moon, with the Moon Grand Canyon forming in less than 10 minutes due to high-speed space rocks, according to a study. Iran is reportedly creating plans for quicker and more basic weapons, according to the U.S. Analysts suggest that the American Iron Dome diminishes nuclear threats, but intensifies the arms race. Reuters indicates that satellite images reveal China constructing a massive fusion research facility, with analysts noting that China is building a colossal laser facility to achieve nearly limitless clean energy. Hugging Face researchers are working on creating an open alternative to OpenAI's advanced deep research tool. OpenAI's deep research has achieved remarkable success by setting new records on the world's most challenging AI exam, leaving ChatGPT 3, Mini and DeepSeek behind. The DeepSeek jailbreak has exposed its entire system prompt. Scientists have identified a third form of magnetism, which could potentially be the missing link in the pursuit of superconductivity. Google anticipates that commercial quantum computing applications will become available within the next 5 years. IBM asserts that it has secured $1 billion in cumulative quantum business. Consuming omega-3 fatty acids daily might aid in maintaining the youthfulness of human organs. Adolescents with a higher intake of ultra-processed foods tend to have lower academic performance. Research indicates that prolonged cannabis use interferes with essential brain functions. NASCAR and Comcast collaborate to grant a point for the Xfinity fastest lap. Cristiano Ronaldo marks his 40th birthday and decides not to retire yet. Americans are anticipated to legally wager approximately $1.4 billion on the Super Bowl. Researchers developed an accessible alternative to OpenAI's O1 reasoning model, named the S1, for a cost of less than $50. According to Nikkei, China's state-supported laboratories offer essential support to U.S.-sanctioned chip manufacturers. It is said that the New York Times has allocated $10.8 million to its ongoing legal dispute with OpenAI. Trump tariffs reportedly surprise consumers with shipping fees from China reaching up to $50. Snap claims that the uncertainty surrounding TikTok has positively impacted its business. Robinhood has stopped the introduction of Super Bowl betting contracts, following a request from the CFTC. Spain plans to reduce the working week to 37.5 hours. Recent research indicates that Gen Z digital natives are eager for in-person events to foster connections and progress in their careers. OpenAI collaborates with the California State University system to integrate AI with 500,000 students and faculty, aiming to enhance higher education in the U.S. through the ChatGPT rollout at California State University. Kazakhstan has made a significant public health decision by banning the sale of energy drinks to minors. In the United States, senators are progressing a bill that would prohibit children under the age of 13 from using social media. Meanwhile, Novo Nordisk remains optimistic despite the potential threat of Trump tariffs, as their sales of the weight loss jab continue to rise. It was reported 6 months ago that the use of drugs for weight loss is increasing among teens, with girls being the most frequent users. 2 years ago, Reuters highlighted that the maker of Wegovy and Ozempic is investing heavily in U.S. obesity doctors. Kaspersky has identified a new Trojan designed to steal cryptocurrency, which is available on both the App Store and Google Play. Meanwhile, Chainalysis has indicated a 35% decrease in ransomware payments year-over-year, with less than half of the recorded incidents resulting in victims making payments. Additionally, a 7-zip zero-day vulnerability was exploited during Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. MicroStrategy has rebranded itself as Strategy, introducing a new logo and emphasizing its Bitcoin-centric identity. OpenAI has launched a new logo featuring an updated color scheme and typeface. Volkswagen is hinting at its upcoming €20,000 electric vehicle, with a show reveal scheduled for March 5th. Apple TV Plus introduces a new K-pop song competition series called Copped, featuring PSY and Megan Thee Stallion. Fox News brings on Lara Trump, the president's daughter-in-law, for a weekend program on the network. Warner Brothers is unexpectedly releasing lesser-known and delightful films on YouTube for free viewing. Germany's MERS cautions that the U.S. has transformed into no longer the America we used to know. According to Axios, Tesla experienced a decline in European sales in January following Musk's political disruptions there. Additionally, Axios notes that a PBS poll reveals significant support among Trump voters despite the GOP's efforts to defund PBS. Lastly, it is reported that in the U.S., Democrats are receiving numerous calls urging them to fight harder. Wall Street Journal indicates that Trump is contemplating classifying migrants as potential risks for measles and tuberculosis. During Rubio's visit, Guatemala has consented to receive additional deportees, and the U.S. plans to confiscate Venezuelan president's plane located in the Dominican Republic. The Panama Canal Authority refutes allegations of altering fee structures, following a U.S. assertion. The U.S. government claimed that its vessels can navigate the Panama Canal without incurring fees. Elon Musk allegedly faces a significant conflict of interest driving his efforts to dismantle USAID, as the agency invested $1 million in Musk's Starlink terminals over the past year. It has been noted that USAID, perceived as Musk's adversary, was examining Starlink's contracts in Ukraine. 3 days ago, it was reported that Musk claimed Donald Trump concurred with the need to shut down USAID. The White House stated that Musk will manage his own conflicts of interest. A House Democrat introduced a bill named after Musk, which aims to terminate federal contracts for special government employees. Trump issues an executive order titled No Men in Women's Sports, stating that transgender athletes will be barred from the 2028 Olympic Games. The Milei government in Argentina plans to prohibit gender affirmation surgery and hormone treatment for individuals under the age of 18. In the United States, The women's soccer secures a $5 million settlement with the state regarding allegations of abuse. AMD surpassed Intel, achieving a 13.5% increase in data center and AI revenue during the fourth quarter. Apple's M5 chip, designed with AI in mind, has begun mass production. Google adjusted its Super Bowl advertisement after it depicted its AI providing inaccurate information about Gouda cheese. Consuming 1 egg per week is associated with a 29% reduction in the risk of dying from heart disease. Researchers have achieved the goal of depriving cancer cells of nutrients by creating artificial fat cells that absorb the surrounding resources. A study proposes that an ancient section of the brain signals when to cease eating. Honda-Nissan merger faces major challenges as Nissan declines proposal. Toyota Motor experiences nearly 28% decline in third-quarter operating profit, falling short of expectations. Ford shares decline as company predicts slower growth and additional losses for electric vehicle division. Justin Sun, who purchased Sotheby's $6 million banana, initiates legal action against mega collector David Geffen regarding a $78 million Giacometti sculpture. 4 years ago, Tron's founder Justin Sun had previously donated Giacometti's $78.4 million lunez to the APIMF Foundation. Meanwhile, the British Council, amid a debt crisis, contemplates selling part of its art collection. Additionally, Knight Frank reports that Dubai's luxury residential market achieved a new milestone in 2024, with 435 home sales, priced at $10 million or more. In Google Ads update, landing pages that mislead users are now ranked lower. Mizuno USA acknowledges a data breach after a ransomware claim was made. Uganda arrests 9 finance officials in connection with a $16.87 million central bank hack. Bangladesh demonstrators set fire to the residence of the former Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. Donald Trump Jr. is alleged to have discharged a firearm at a safeguarded rare duck in the Venice Lagoon. Nigel Farage dismisses a query regarding Donald Trump's strategy for Gaza, humorously mentioning casinos, nightlife, very appealing to me. EA anticipates the next Battlefield installment will be available before April 2026. African gaming revenues have reached a new record of $1.8 billion. Marvel refutes claims of using AI for new Fantastic Four posters, which feature extra fingers and duplicate faces. Voldex has acquired a player base of 120 million from Brookhaven, positioning it as the largest developer